Okay, welcome back, everybody. Um, Feels like it's been too long. Hopefully, I'll be getting more speedy at this. I am doing a December challenge, and my challenge is painting watercolor. Well, painting. It's probably going to end up being watercolors. But I've been fascinated with this technique this past weeks. And today is December 3rd. So I'm on my third painting today, and I'm doing it with you. Um, this was like, this is my first one. And then this is my second one that I did. I wanted to see the sunset colors in there. Isn't that fun with that bright red in there? And this is one I did before I decided that I was doing a challenge. And that one's kind of fun too. But and this one I did a week or two ago, and I believe it's sold. They're still getting back to me. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, so today I'm doing what probably should be the last of these, where I'm doing these strong washes. But what this is it's a way of doing watercolor with a wash, and so hopefully you will have fun with this, and you'll want to do this too. So you'll want to grab your larger brush. This one is a 11, which is pretty big for me. So we're gonna do a lot of water up here because we're doing the background, and it's a wash. And then we're gonna be doing some trees. This is from a video I came across where they were doing kind of a Christmassy scene. This is not gonna be, I'm not going to be doing a star and ornaments on it like he was doing. So, or they did. I'm not sure who it is. But I did want to try these colors. So, we have this nice and wet. And I've actually taped down the ends because I tell you, this paper just doesn't do well. Anyway, and then you're going to get, you want to get it really strong, heavy pigment. And then you're going to be putting it in wherever it's wet. And you're going to keep doing different spots, and probably going to want to lean your paper so that the water draws the paint down, because watercolor is very gravity driven. So we're going to do that a little bit more here. And this paper dries pretty fast. I put lots of water on there, but it's already showing that it's kind of dry, which is just crazy. Okay, and then we're going to kind of do, because you want to contrast, so you want different colors, and we're going to do, some, because there's sky. This is kind of a purpley sunset is what it actually is. In the snow, you get these colors. somebody commented on one video I was watching where it was like, you sure you'd have snow coming down with shadows? And I'm just like, you haven't been, at least where I live, you can get snow with bright sunshine. So it doesn't, you can definitely get shadows with snow. So let me do a little bit more purple over here. And there's probably a more precise way of doing things, but this kind of works for me. And we need some more of the purpley. And we're going to do some trees in the background too, because we want them to be shadowy, misty, because it's snowy. It's kind of a, and it's sunset, so it's kind of that misty time of night. But I still need some of that more blue. Oh, got some down here. And as we've seen in past videos, I'm still looking for the right paper that's gonna hold the paint a little bit better and not bunch up like this is doing still. Oops, that doesn't help. And you kind of gotta be careful, because if you go over stuff too many times, you get blotchiness too. So, okay, now we're gonna work a little bit more on the tree shapes. So these are kind of just in the background. And bleed a little bit. See how it's kind of going granular? I'm not sure I'm happy about that. And trees are actually one of my another favorite shape to paint, because they are kind of symmetrical, I guess is the way to put it. You know, because they're, you go bottom to top, top to bottom. A little tree over here. kind of over here in the corner. I kind of tried doing some of the trees earlier, but it was too wet and they kept bleeding. This is also when you can kind of, snow is in the absence of the paint. So you just kind of move that around a little bit. And we do a little bit of, I'm going to do a little darker spots in here where it's underside of the back here. Help if I don't bump the camera. Isn't that kind of a fun combination of colors though? The purplish and the pinkish and the purple and kind of colors you wouldn't think normally of putting together, and that's why it caught my eye and I thought, oh, I want to try that. So just so you know, you put anything out on YouTube, people are looking at it sometimes for inspiration, because some of us don't have a lot of imagination when it comes to what to paint. I need to have, sometimes I have an idea in mind, but usually it's just, I need to see something and then I can change it a little bit, adapt it, make it more mine so they don't feel like they're being like copied. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm stealing their art. I just am inspired by what they were doing, and I learn new things from them. Hopefully it's the same with mine. You learn from the stuff that I do on here, or maybe you just enjoy it, which is always good. Okay, so there's my background. Okay, now it's dried enough that I think we can continue. And we're going to do a couple of more trees in front of these ones that are dried to give it, you know, some perspective. And these ones are going to be darker. So let's see, I'm going to put one over here, kind of in the middle of these. And remember, you kind of want to work as if there's snow on the branches. Pardon me. Kind of working with You get into the white and it looks lots more like you got snow on there. Need it a little darker down here too, kind of washed out a little bit. Let's switch it up here so you can see. Need to get a little bit more. I'm gonna do one more layer down there. It's more dark up in here. See how fun it is to do a tree like that? It's just so much fun. And it's another where, you know what, your mind sees the things that are there even though maybe those things aren't there. It has the general outline, shape of the tree. Okay, now we're going to do another tree over here. What do I get? Which you don't generally like to do stuff right in the middle. It's that whole thing of if you've had that kind of training, you know that there's your paintings are divided and you have the upper half and the lower half and you have thirds and you have all that thing. And so generally don't put things in the middle of the page. You do them offset to one side. And you also try to do things in thirds or threes. I mean, if that makes any sense. And this is where the painting might not be kind of dry from the other layers, but so far it's not. I need to get some more paint. And I am mixing my colors. You'll find most watercolorists and actually most painters, even though we like to get paint that's kind of pre-mixed idea, we still end up mixing as we go because we want a specific look, specific color. Feels like it needs to have some more on that side. bleeds into the background a little bit there, so we're going to make it a little darker. So it kind of sticks out there against these snowy ones in the background. Okay, so now we're also going to take some Payne's Gray, mix it in with that a little bit, because you need to have a little bit of the trunks under there, shade of the shadow of the tree. I need to thin it out a little bit there. Too much water on there, so I'm just trying to make it look like there's snow, like that. And if you bleed it a little bit into the bottom, it doesn't stand out so much as a shadow that you've drawn under there. I'm going to add a little bit more now that I've added some water there. And you'll see how it still has a little bit too much water on there. And it's kind of done that whole bleed over thing. I'm going to try kind of soften that a little bit. And I'm going to come in here, tissue, take some of that out. Like that. Okay, so then we're going to add some snow on top of this. And because I tend to spatter everywhere, I am putting my sheet that I spatter on top of it so that I don't get everything everywhere. And you take the fat brush again, so I was using the little bit thinner one, and you use some white I have been using, for my white, I've been using Neocolor to color sticks, because that white seems to work really well. And then you come in and you flick. There's lots of different ways people do this. Some of them use another brush and they tap it like that. You see how different it looked compared to what I was doing it before? I tend to just use my finger. It's a little less noisy. But you want it somewhat wet because you want it to come off the brush, but you don't want it to be so wet that it creates a circle of wetness around it, like you see when you're doing the, if that makes any sense. So you don't get this like this down here. You get more of this up here where it's, and I just want a few more up here that are a little bit bigger. There. And then I'm going to add a little bit to the branches. I want a little bit of more snow on them. So I'm going to take my finer one. This is the 4. And I'm going to get some more of that white. Generally, it's kind of hard to do white watercolor in my experience. It just doesn't look right. So this is kind of nice to like dab on. You're not going to be doing lots of stuff. Just going to add some snow here to where I've already figured there was snow on those branches. But it's not quite and then over here we're going to add some more to this one because it didn't show up as well at the snow on the branches like I wanted. We're just going to put a little bit in here. And sometimes it'll pick up the other paint, so, and if the other paint maybe isn't totally dry or the whole wetness of it. I want it to be white. And you can kind of just, you know, play with this, see what it, where you want to go with that snow, where you want it to be. See, that makes it just a little bit, a little bit. It's kind of fun. Put a little bit more on this other one. And we might put a little bit more in the shadow because need something down there. Okay, there's that. It's in here where it's just kind of, I need a little bit more. just a little bit more. And you know what? I think we need some more snow over here in the corner. Okay, so put some up here. So I don't know if it blended in or what, but it was just not enough. I really want a big one over here. That's kind of not what I'm thinking of. Okay, anyway, there we go. And that's our purpley sunsetty snow for day 3. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and if you did, give me a thumbs up, that would be great. And subscribe if you want to see some more. Tomorrow we'll be doing day 4. Thank you very much and have a great day.